Hey everybody, welcome back to Cookie Gaming. Today we are continuing to play What Remains of Edith Finch. Now last time, we continued to discover more Finch family stories, learning about the demise of Walter, Sam, and two of Sam's children, Gregory and Gus. We were also treated to the little tidbit that Edith is actually pregnant. Now, I will say I sort of guessed at that, or at least that she might have a kid in the future earlier in the episode. That, in some ways, recontextualizes all of what we're seeing here. Now, today we'll continue to go through our family tree. As you can see, we've really got our generation left, right? Edith's siblings. And I'm sure we'll learn more about Dawn and Edie as we go, as we have been throughout the entirety of the game. And we learned a lot about Dawn's childhood in the last one. Of course, this was her sort of childhood bedroom. You can see a good old flag on the wall with Sam's schedule laid out for them. Raise flag at 7:30, breakfast at 8 a.m., quiet time 11 p.m. Looks like they had a fairly regimented lifestyle. Though I do like that Gregory's tasks were be a baby. Seems appropriate. You still have to write it down, though, apparently. Ooh, climbing wall. Is this how we get up? Yes, it is.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
I mean, at least Sam let her
At the
do that.
time, it was as far away as she could get.
Come on. Well, if you remember, I know this isn't very far, but if you remember, after Sam's brother died, Calvin, Sam had to live in the same bedroom for years afterwards, right? The bedroom he shared with his dead brother, right? Which has got to be pretty traumatizing. And so at least Dawn got to move a little bit away. Though, of course, we haven't really come that far. Once again, and we sort of heard this with Walter, seems like this family, the members of the family, could really not get that far away from the rest of their family, the tragedy, the curse, may it be real or not. Anyway, we've got Dawn's room here. She was religious, it appears.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Yeah, right. I mean, I believe, saw how he passed away in a pretty traumatic manner while she was seemingly quite young. Got her little computer over here. India. Sanjay. Fly to India. So is that where she met Sanjay, perhaps?
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
And we talked about last time when we were going through the graveyard that Milton and Lewis, Edith's two siblings, you know, Sanjay died while they were pretty young, but they would have remembered him. But Edith was still really young when Sanjay passed away, so she might not remember him that well, honestly. Majors, English, teaching, or geology. Well, you got some good options there. I appreciate that. So, I will also say, hey, Dawn did manage to get away for a while, right? I mean, she went over to India. That's pretty far away. That's about as far away as you can get. But then, in the end, she ended up back here at the Finch home. Isn't that interesting? Anyway, maybe we'll learn more about that as we go.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English.
So, it sort of reminds me of her father, Sam, right? We learned that as soon as Sam turned 18, basically, he enlisted in the army and got away. Well, sort of a similar idea. Dawn, Sam's daughter, she went away to India as soon as possible. They both tried to get away, but seemingly both ended
Lewis
up
was
here.
born a year later.
Okay, pretty soon. Well, those are broken. And we are pregnant, so we gotta watch our step.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go.
Right. So, okay, interesting. So, Sanjay dies, and she feels she has no other options, and she comes back here.
I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
I'm sure she was. I'm not... I wonder whether Dawn was happy to be back. I feel like maybe not. Oh, interesting.
And to see kids in the house again.
Hmm. Haha, that's funny. So Lewis has got a bunch of herbs. Mint, thyme, sage, basil. Edith has got some, like, dead flowers, perhaps. Milton! He said, screw the plants. I'm building a castle out of plant pots. Oh, we've seen Milton's paintings, right? Behind the walls of the place, so... You know, he was definitely a creative type. How much remaining here for Dawn?
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
Damn, so they built onto it? Well, right, because they're not repurposing old rooms.
And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
They'd have to build on, right? Because Edie has kept all the rooms of the dead children and made them into memorials. So if you have more people moving in, you can't just reuse the old rooms. You got to build new ones. A little weird. So it looks like this was their little classroom here. We're homeschooled. Interesting. Analyze objectively. Never stop learning. Assume nothing. Respect criticism. Ask tough questions. Fair. Oh, that is interesting. Our family history, fact or fiction? Huh. I got the impression that Edith didn't really know that much about her family history. That Dawn was keeping it. Or maybe this was... Seems like the Finch family is pretty well established, so maybe this was sort of the older family history. Edith? Well, no, they were learning about Barbara, Molly, Sam, a bunch of different family members. Lewis rules. Nice one, Lewis.
But it didn't last.
Yeah, nothing good seems to last here. And they had a family project on Odin Finch, the quote-unquote curse. I can't read any of this text. If it even is real, readable text. Huh. Oh, she wrote a book. This family is pretty, tragic, but also pretty well accomplished. There's a couple of writers within the family, some published books, explorers. They've got a national park named after them. Pretty, like I said, well-established, accomplished family. Marcus Island Lutheran. Huh. Scientific method. I was gonna say the sort of points on the wall over there, very academic, very sort of scientific method. Sorry if I'm boring anybody, but I do like to, pick out the details in games. You'll know that if you've seen the channel before. Oh, interesting. So that doesn't mean I see everything. I've been known to miss things from time to time, but that's everybody, right?
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Oh my. That's something. Wow. I feel like it's been a while since we saw one of these doors with the peepholes in them. Milton.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Yeah, I can see that. So, no death date, because we don't know that he actually died. He just vanished, apparently. Maybe we'll find out how. Born in 1992. And Milton is, he's 9 years older than me. I think that's our way in. Let me check around the other side. Alright, let's see. Milton's lair. Little hidey hole. I think the implication given is that Milton did die, but that Dawn was sort of holding out hope. But I will say, this was a kid who was crawling through all the secret passageways of the house. He's definitely someone who liked to hide and could hide. So, maybe it is possible that he did truly just hide away one day. Or maybe not, because I don't know why he'd never come back. That was quite the artist, though, huh? Wow. Different mediums as well. Creative kid. Oh, we got a pulley system. Here's Milton. Alright, let's see. What do we have here?
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Oh, it's a flip book. Huh. That's pretty meta. Oh, wow. There you go, Milton. Wow. Interesting. One of the shorter stories.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
One of the shorter stories, and also one of the most abstract ones. Well, with all these stories, there have been some that are a little more grounded in reality, some that are more abstract, or it's difficult to tie it back to what really happened. With Milton, that gives me no sense of what really happened to the kid. Did he disappear? I mean, he disappeared, but did he die? Was it an accident? Did he run away? I mean, who knows? I have no idea. Or maybe that is literally what happened. He actually made a magical portal and went through it. I don't know. I've really got no idea. Whoa, look at that view. Imagine living up there. That's gotta be a little precarious. I wouldn't want to be up there when it's windy out, you know what I mean? See, I have no idea what happened to Milton.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Maybe it's, you know, could be a metaphor for someone who gets so lost in their own work that it absorbs them, right? But maybe I'm making something out of nothing. And there, I mean, that looks like the door that he used. I mean, also, we got our baby bump down there. But I don't know, maybe the suggestion really is that Milton straight up drew himself a portal and then went through it. You know, once again, I don't know.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
What, the family curse? Same thing Walter was afraid of. Okay, let's go up further.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself.
So why did Mom blame Edie? I know they seem to have had a different view on things, and it's clear to me that, well, things we've been told. One, I remember near the beginning of the game that, and we were just sort of told as well, Dawn sealed the doors, Edie drove the peepholes. So a difference in philosophy. And then, also, Edith was saying that the beginning of the end was when Edie built Milton this castle. So maybe it is something where, you know, Dawn feels like Edie sort of, I don't know, allowed Milton to get lost in his work or go too far or something like that. Even though I don't know the exact situation.
After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Relatable. Maybe Dawn felt Edie was enabling Milton somehow? I don't know. Thing is, we don't quite know the reality here. Come on. You've got it. I literally moved my own head back. There. That means you're immersed, huh? Oh, I don't want to get hit by the window. Goofy.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar.
Oh, okay.
That part of it lived on.
I see. Look, I'm getting a sense. Okay, well, legalize marijuana. They made it obvious. Even before the weed flag, it was pretty clear what Lewis was into. He's got his, like, hookah on the desk here. The music. Okay, I see.
He was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch.
Interesting. Perhaps someone else who wanted to separate themselves from that Finch identity. Well, he got his high school diploma.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Well, I feel you, Lewis. I've spent a lot of hours playing video games in my life, and I never feel like I've gotten particularly good at them, to be honest with you. Okay, so Lewis, he was a gamer. He liked weed. He seems to have liked to brew as well. So, you know, classic, like, 20-year-old male or whatever. Your average college student. Greater Seattle Institute of Psychology.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse.
Okay.
Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Oh, he's at the cannery, right?
He kept working at the cannery.
Right. Yeah, this is why they had all the canned fish.
In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to...
Not the job for me, I've got to say.
wander.
Oh, wow. Oh, I'm doing two things at once.
I asked him to describe it.
Not a multitasker.
He said he started small.
I can barely even do one task. Ha!
Imagining a labyrinth.
Okay.
He'd feel his way about.
So he's daydreaming at work.
Then something moved.
Not weird.
Bats.
I mean, I used to work at a grocery store in high school as a cashier. And let me tell you, the monotony of doing the same thing over and over again. And to be fair, that job was less monotonous than this looks, but, you know, similar idea.
And toads.
Whoa.
And things that have not names.
Oh my goodness. Was Lewis infected by an eldritch horror?
He knew it was all in his head.
I like the fish there. Oh! Dude, my god, dude, my Alexa just went off and fucking spooked me. Oh my god. What the hell's your problem? Jeez Louise, you gave me a damn heart attack.
But he took it very seriously.
I don't think y'all can hear that, but they're always listening to us, okay? It's not a conspiracy. Fucking hell. That scared me. Okay, back to Lewis.
But he found something more.
Whoa! Oh my goodness. We've
I
changed
worried
perspectives.
about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss.
Sometimes you gotta escape the monotony of everyday life, right?
But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
Well, I'm sure he had. I mean, the thing that makes these jobs tough is that they're absolutely soul-sucking and monotonous, but if you can just daydream, then you can keep doing the same thing.
Like a whole new Lewis.
Hmm.
So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first.
I mean, it doesn't seem bad to me, but from how it's being described, I'm guessing we're going somewhere bad.
He told me he'd made a new friend.
Haha. Little dog.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
Ah, nice. I like that.
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band.
In his head.
And he was always humming something.
I think Lewis could have used maybe some hobbies or some friends.
Every day his imagination grew stronger.
I like there's always some sort of fish involved. There's
He
still
no
some
longer spoke at the
connection
cannery,
to his life.
but his chopping was as reliable as ever.
Right.
Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet,
Yeah.
were all in his imagination,
That's true.
so he could do whatever he wished.
So seemingly we have someone who's grown increasingly disconnected from their actual life. Nope. Here we go.
He held an election for mayor,
Oh, nice. I like that in his fantasy, he wasn't just king, he held an election. I like that, Lewis.
and he won.
I hope so. Your imagination, man.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering.
Imagine holding an election in your head and you lose it. That's gotta be like low self-esteem.
It became a game for him.
Oh, wow. I see. As the screen further gets taken up, Lewis is more disconnected from his day-to-day life.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on.
I'm catching the drift.
New Louisville.
God. Gotta try steering.
St. Louis.
Wait, that's a real city.
He started drifting away from our reality.
Yeah. Impact.
Minneapolis.
Okay.
Until one day
Okay.
he forgot to go home from the cannery.
Oh. That can't be good.
Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
Damn. He's really disconnected now. Yeah, this is the model employee. One who has no connection to the work
In
they're
Louisburg,
doing.
he
Totally
heard the rumors
alienated.
of a
Let's go with the handsome queen. Beautiful prince, handsome queen. I like that.
handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for
Sinister serpents, man. Come on. She's gonna be a badass.
sinister serpents.
Whoa. Nope.
Followed the sound of her
Oh, electric sitar. Come on, man.
electric sitar.
That's way cooler. Yeah. Who's just
His
jamming,
chase
man?
led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
Did it?
He knew the world was all in his imagination.
But we can't see the chopper, and you can barely hear it as well. Sound is very muffled. And we're getting closer and closer to
But he was so proud of having
figure.
created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
I was saying earlier, I didn't see how this was an issue, but I see now. This man is totally absorbed in his fantasy.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming.
Well, I mean, it's escapism, right? I mean, think why many people play games, read books, watch movies, whatever. I think this is especially true for games, frankly. It lets you escape from your daily life, the monotony, the struggle, whatever. You can become someone else. That's why people, they like power fantasies.
And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Right. He's like totally dissociated from himself. Or from his body, at least.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Yeah, not healthy. At a certain point. Oh, wow. We're back in the cannery, huh? Look, imagination's certainly not a bad thing, but you still need to recognize what's happening around you. Oh, this has got to be Lewis's, right? With the weed. Oh, he's got his, I don't know what this is supposed to be, DS or whatever. His game console. Their favorite Chinese food place.
He began to forget the world we know.
Sheesh. These days,
I
people...
think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
These days, people just listen to podcasts while they chop fish or whatever. But similar escapism just depends on the degree to which you engage. There we
He
are.
began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Not good. I guess that's where, you can get sort of self-loathing. There's not even any fish there. My man is totally out of it. Okay, where are we going?
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
Oh, from mayor to king, he's been promoted.
The palace would be packed with his companions.
Yeah, I see that.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
Oh, hey, it's Molly. Oh my god, she's huge. That's funny.
His queen waited, holding his crown.
Alrighty. Whoa, we're really building up here.
There was only one thing left to do.
What was that? Oh, Jesus Christ. Ah, right. I understand. Damn. Well, guess it's time to, take our crown.
Bend down his head.
Jesus. Oh, Lewis. Man.
And the rest I think you know.
Oh, God.
Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Sheesh. Right.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Yeah. Seems like a good guy. Yeah, that one's sad. They're all sad, but, I've been talking this whole time about the different stories and how fantastical versus real they are. That one, it's pretty clear to tell what actually happened, which is Lewis was stuck in this monotonous job he hated. He got lost in his imagination. He hated himself even more day by day, and he took his life. Right? We saw the sort of version of that there. So it's in some ways it's not very fantastical. It's very real. But in other ways, I mean, the whole point of the story was Lewis got submerged in those fantastical thoughts, which is something we have been talking about this entire game, right? To what extent should you engage with the past? Should you memorialize it? Should you engage with these sort of fantasies that were perpetrated by some members of the Finch family? I think Edie in particular. I can sort of understand. We've already seen Dawn and Edie had a difference in philosophy. You know, she was upset. I think Milton was the first to go, right? Yeah, way before Lewis. She seemed to be upset about what happened, upset at Edie because of what happened in regards to Milton. I wonder if she was also upset given what happened to Lewis. He's someone who grew up in this household, probably grew up with these stories perhaps, and grew very sort of obsessed with his own fantasy. I wonder if Dawn, felt that the household or Edie or whatever was in some way responsible. I don't know. I might just be making stuff up, but maybe some connection there. Lewis. I'm sure that one was relatable for many. I mean, there are parts of his story that was, I think we can all identify with, sadly. Wow.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing.
Yeah, she must have made the connection.
She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
Yeah. Wow, good point.
I wish we'd stayed.
Do you?
But I understand why we left.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, me too. So, now we're getting why they left like they did. They left in quite the rush.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Yeah. Well, I think that was the point, right? I mean, not, they left in a rush, right? So, sort of practically they left things behind, but also the whole idea of leaving was to leave everything behind. I think that was the point. And we saw throughout this game that, Edith has told us, she's been telling us that, in some ways she connected with Edie more, but that now she really understands her mother. Right? She wanted to stay as a kid, but now she gets why they left. And I gotta say, so do I. So do I. Now, once again, you look at all these stories, what extent is it fantastical? What extent is there a real curse? Is it a self-fulfilling prophecy? I don't know. But after everything Dawn went through, knowing the history of the family, the past generations, all those who died, losing her father, losing her siblings, losing her kids. 2 of the 3. Got to imagine at this point, she just felt they had to go. They couldn't stay any longer. Wasn't worth it. And whether that's real, whether she was right, or whether that's just a rationalization of tragedy, I don't know, but I understand it. I really do.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I mean, if you look at the family tree, there's one person who lived for a long time, and that is Edie. The rest of them all died pretty young. I think aside from her, Walter or maybe Odin are the longest surviving. The rest of them, I mean, Sam lived until his 30s, but the rest of them, most died before the age of 20. So, not a long-living family. And yet Edie, she was here for almost 100 years. I don't know what to make of that. I really don't.
Maybe it should have come sooner.
Maybe. I mean, the question I'm sure Dawn was asking is, if I'd left sooner, would my kids still be alive? I'm sure she asked herself that.
But it had to end one way or another.
And now we're
All
back.
that's left now was to tell you about that last night.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. And I've been wondering about this last night for the entire game. We've sort of, I mean, we've learned the context, essentially. But, let's hear about it. Our gloves. Oh, are we gonna write it out? Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I hear it. This is where it started.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
To our final night together, and all our final nights apart.
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, could you imagine Edie leaving this place?
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles.
This is her shrine to her family, to the deaths of her family she's wanted to keep over the years. I couldn't imagine her leaving.
When my mom sailed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
Huh. Yeah, there were a lot of
Or that Edie had a key to it.
other entrances in here.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
Interesting.
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories.
There you go. I mean, that was what I was theorizing Dawn was feeling and thinking. And I mean, she just said it outright.
If Edith and I leave tonight.
Interesting. So, I mean, look, the question still is, what was the reality? I don't think we'll ever know. But Dawn certainly felt like the stories, all the stuff we've seen, they were part of the problem. Whether from a more sort of, I guess, mystical viewpoint of the curse, or maybe from a more realistic viewpoint of something like a self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't know. But, it's fascinating.
We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
There's no shot Edie's going. Oh, wow.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
Oh!
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground.
Oh, this is cool.
There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years.
We've been talking about connections to the past. This is a real tangible connection to the past.
God, it smelled awful. You know,
Really smelled fishy.
I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
It was literally right in front of us.
I got turned around.
Oh. Oh, okay.
For a while, I wondered. I started seeing things.
What? Oh my. The Edie is clearly someone with an incredible imagination. I don't know if she was a pure fabulist, as in she wrote out these fantasy stories as fiction, or if she really believed them herself. I think the latter, honestly. Although, I guess seeing a deer out here isn't too fantastical, but, you know, just broadly.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends.
But, I mean, this is a story, one of the stories where you can't quite tell where fiction begins and reality ends, you know what I mean?
That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
Oh, huh. That's funny. So the light's coming from, like, whoa!
Things I can't explain.
The house.
But that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
Oh.
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go.
Uh-oh.
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
Dang.
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
Yeah.
After that, we moved around a lot.
Oh, that's funny. I always loved doing this as a
We both tried to
kid.
make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly.
Damn.
She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone.
Jesus.
The last Finch left alive.
For now.
Until I found out about you.
Huh. Yeah, exactly.
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things.
I don't think so.
But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Oh, sorry.
This journal was supposed to be for you.
Are we being born?
But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you.
Oh, no.
And tell you all these stories myself.
Oh.
But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Damn. Edith, too.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Can't believe it. 2017. Hey, there's the kid. Wow. She was 18 years old. Yeah. Gave birth. Died in childbirth, I guess. Oh, jeez. Wow. Wow. That was quite the experience, I gotta say. That was, wow, short and sweet, huh? And sad. It was a sad one. I gotta say, I mean, I yapped a lot. There's still more to be said, I feel. It's interesting. You know, Dawn got sick and passed away. Edith died in childbirth. normally those would be tragic, but of course not necessarily out of the ordinary. But with the larger context of the family and the death and the curse, it makes you think, right? Was this part of it? I don't know. I really don't. I don't know. Was it something about remembering or not remembering or embracing the stories? I have no idea. It seems to me you have examples of people in the family who embraced them and passed, and those who didn't, like Dawn, and still passed. And then Edith, she goes back finally to discover these stories, find out her family's history, because she wants to share it with her kid. And then, in the end, she gets to do that, but not quite in the way she would have wanted, right? She discovers the stories, she writes them down, but she never lives to see that child. She can never share those stories herself, right? It seems like, obviously it seems significant that Edith goes back to discover all these stories and then dies shortly afterwards, but once again, could be coincidence. You really don't know. I feel like there's a lot to think about here. I'm left not entirely sure what conclusions to draw. I feel like I've laid that out as we've played about the family and death and remembrance, memorializing, curse or no curse, all these types of things. I think there's a lot of questions to be asked. It's very interesting. Definitely gives you a lot to think about, though. I think it lets you think about, as a person, as a family, maybe as a society, how should you be remembering the past? Should you be? How should you do that? What things should you memorialize and which should you not? Right? I think that's a fair question to ask. You know what I mean? I think I said, perhaps last episode, that as someone who studied history, right? I've got a master's degree in history. I lean towards remembering history, But, of course, there are different ways to memorialize people and events. And I'm open to the idea, but that sometimes maybe it's best to just move on, right? And I'll say moving on doesn't always mean forgetting, but maybe sometimes that's what you have to do. I don't know. That's something I'd have to think about. And I have to take it on a case-by-case basis. But it certainly does raise some interesting questions. About family legacy in particular, I feel like I'm someone who's not incredibly connected to his family history. Sort of funny, right? I'm a history buff generally, but in terms of my family, I don't know an incredible amount about the history of my family. I gotta say, this does not make me more likely to try and discover it. But I'm not sure that's quite the point. But maybe it's something worth thinking about if you're someone who does know a lot about that family history. Maybe you want to make sure that you're not bound by that history, by that legacy. I think that's important. You gotta act on your own initiative, right? Yeah. Fascinating stuff. Well, there we go. The end. That's good. What remains of Edith Finch? Wow. Wow. Hey, we got Dawn right there. And Edie. Well, that was a good time. This was one of those really popular games from the 2010s that a lot of people played, but, I never got to until now, and I'm glad I did. Like I said, a really fascinating story, a lot to think about. I found it really interesting. Short and sweet, So yeah, I enjoyed this one. I hope you guys did. And if you did, I would appreciate it if you would leave a like, subscribe. I always enjoy the comments you guys leave. I think I say that every episode, but it's true. It's always true. So yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you all again next time. Goodbye.